Well, obviously, first press conference of the season. Excited about the fact that we're finally in game week. We've been in camp, seems like forever. Kids are getting going in school, so it's more normalcy, I guess, coming back in our lives as far as coaches and players of what we're used to as far as the routine. Um, we've had good preparation so far. We have to finish now. Obviously we have three very important days left from a physical standpoint, preparing to play those guys, and we're excited to get started on it. So, well, one is their first game, and two, you know, uh, what we're trying to get done here is for the guys to understand it doesn't matter who you're playing, you have to play at a certain level, try to create that standard. That's something that we were trying to get accomplished last year. I think, as you continue to build your program, good programs play at a consistent level. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. And that's what we have to get to. So from a freshman standpoint, I expect them to be excited to play. It's their first chance to ever play college football, playing in an NFL stadium. So there'll be a lot of excitement on both sides. Coach McElwain, his history as coordinator at Alabama and in Fresno State, and then you look at what Dave has done, Baldwin, at his stops, and what he's done more recently at Utah State. And so there's a lot that you have to look at and try to filter through to try to figure out what exactly you think is going to be the fit, what you think they might do. It definitely limits what you're capable of doing because you don't know. But yet at the same time, you have to have enough within your package so that once you figure it out, if you need to make adjustments, you have something that you can go to. So it presents a challenge, but it's going to be like that really every year, I think, with your opening game. A lot of staffs, whether it's a changeover with the whole staff or a coordinator or going from a 4-3 to a 3-4, you're always going to have those kind of wrinkles that you're going to have to deal with and adapt to first game. You have 11 games left. This isn't the game from that standpoint. You have a lot of football left. And any coach will tell you you want to be playing your better football anyway at the end of the season than at the beginning. So there's a lot of things that go into it from our perspective, and I say our perspective, from a coaching perspective, as far as how you view this game. It's important because it's your first game. Next week is a big game because it's the next game. So as a coach, that's how you think and prepare, but you don't sit there and say, well, hey, if this doesn't happen, then oh well. You have a lot of football left, a lot of things can happen, and so you have to coach and prepare your team accordingly. Because it's the first game, no matter who you play, I think if you talk to people when they play their first game, it's bedlam. It is crazy. Guys, even though you've gone through how we're going to stretch and how we're going to do this and that, trust me, first day you're going to have guys on the wrong side of the field, not knowing where to warm up. So that always happens. I remember my first game, how amped I was, and it was at Michigan State. We played CSU that year, I think the second game of the season. So the fact that it's your first game gets you excited because it's your senior year. It's your first game of your senior year. You're freshman, your first time playing. There's a lot of emotions that go on because it's your first game. I feel like I'm more patient. That's the first thing coming from the season after the first year. There's so many things that you're trying to do and so many things that you want to get accomplished, and you realize you can't get it all done in 1 year. And that hits you in the face about once a month, So I'm more patient, obviously more comfortable with our team and our players, knowing what I expect of them and how I react to certain things. So it's just a comfort level. Offensively, the two guys that jump out at you is the center and the running back. I think those are two very good football players. The running back's a big player. When he gets going, he's hard to stop. I think when you watch what he did against Air Force, who's a very good, I think, one of the better tackling teams and in the run game as far as what they do, for him to do what he did against them, I think speaks volumes of his skill set. And then obviously he had guys up front blocking for him. The center, Richburg, he's a very good player. He does a good job getting to the second level. He can cut block. He can run. He's a good pass protector. He plays with an edge. So those two jump out on the offensive side. Defensively, you got to start with Barrett. Very good player. He can come off the edge. He can play inside in the middle. He, he can cover. Skelton, the 43 linebacker. Really like him. He's an old-school downhill linebacker, hits you in the mouth. He's one of the guys that when he hits you, he can knock you backwards. He's not finishing going forward. And I love Gray, the safety. He has good range, and he likes to make every tackle. He plays football like he's the only guy on the field out there, and if he doesn't make the tackle, it's a touchdown. So those are the guys that jump out at you from when you watch tape.